And this is evolving. You may not have all the answers yet. Now, I tell myself, I don't have all the answers, but at this present moment now, I have an idea of who I want to be.
Welcome to FLO Conversations Episode 2. My name is Aoi, a former performer and creative director turned lifestyle and wellness entrepreneur. Each week I bring to you a conversation with a person who I believe has a message to share with us as we dive deeper into the world of wellness and mindset and answer this big question: what makes a great life? In the call today, I have Nazreen Osman. Nazreen is an educator who is spirited about pursuing her passion amidst daily grind. And she leads theatre and Zumba as some of her pursuits as she navigates life being an educator and being a working mother of 2 growing children in Singapore. I'm excited to talk to her, to have this conversation with Nazreen today. Hey, Nazreen, welcome to the show.
It's really great to be here, and I'm really, really excited, to engage in this conversation.
Thank you for taking your time. Nazreen, tell me, you being an educator, life is not easy being a teacher.
Yeah.
How do you manage it all?
Okay, as cliche as it may sound, but you got to be happy with what you do every day. So it's more like teaching is not just a vocation. It's more like something that I enjoy, that I feel like it's part of me. So many teachers out there will say, like, teaching is a calling. You've heard of this before. I would also like to add that, teaching is something where it's, I don't see it as a job. I see it as a part and parcel of how I want my life to be. It's teaching and learning, and like part of my life. Like I myself, I'm a very keen learner. Like I really like to learn and the mastery of new set of skills every now and then. I love to learn new skills, new things, adding knowledge. So that's why I would say teaching is definitely part of me. And being with people, connecting with human minds, connecting with the young or even fellow friends, and it's really something that we exchange every day, and in that exchange, it's like we are learning. So I would say that teaching is really in me, in my blood, and that's why when it's part of me, it's all like a symphony, It's like a harmonious orchestra, if I can sound very optimistic.
Melody and an orchestra, you are the conductor of your own life, and there's various many parts of it. Teaching is one part of it, and you talk about learning. That resonates in me a lot because I often say that if we stop learning, we start growing old. And, aging is something that I am very particular about. I don't want to grow old.
Same here.
Growing old is not just about the age, but the mindset and the pursuit of learning something is something that excites me. I discovered that in my life, I have like a 5-year turnaround that I morphed myself from being a performer to a designer to creative director, now to a entrepreneur doing lifestyle and wellness. What has your journey been like for you?
Yeah, I agree with you about life evolving. And I would say that teaching itself on its own, it also evolves. There are many aspects of life which evolves to me. And teaching is just one aspect. But if I want to take that out of the equation for a minute, I would say that life itself, the different chapters that we go through right now, it's like a sequel. Life is like a sequel. Because of the life changes, there are certain decisions that we'll have to make, and we'll have to change those decisions from time to time. To go through the life changes, I need to be an auditor of my life. So I need to keep an audit of my life. And I recently read up this term called Hypocrisy Audit.
Hypocrisy audit. Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. Share with me.
I want to be more self-aware. So sometimes as I sip my tea, I will just reflect on, did I really mean what I say? Like, did I do what I meant to do? And I'll say like, okay, I say that I want to keep a fitness routine and I want to achieve a certain goal. But actually, I have been doing something else, and I have been sleeping late. I have been, eating snacks which are not so healthy, and I've been getting angry, for very, very what I say, unimportant things, unnecessarily angry. Maybe it's a bad day, or okay. So I need to have a check, and I need to also ensure that whatever that I'm giving advice to, be it my students or my children, I need to make sure that I myself apply it. Like, for example, if I advise my students, I say that, okay, I'm giving you this advice for your study plan, for example. And then the next minute, I actually say something else. Like I say, like, okay, what do you do? Why don't you do a list of things? But wait a minute. I actually encourage the time management in that plan, but it doesn't sound like it now. So that's what I mean by hypocrisy audit. I mean, it's just a very simple example on the surface. But if I look at a deeper one, it's more of like a decision that I make as a principle, as a belief, and I need to follow through. So if I don't follow through, I need to ask myself why. And why am I saying something but I'm not doing, and I'm doing another thing, which is the complete opposite. And we are human nature. It's human nature. Sometimes we just don't do what we want to do. We just say what we want. We just say it, but we don't do it. Right?
Yeah, definitely. I think in another sense, you're talking about accountability. You're a teacher, right? Nonetheless, you're a teacher. You are still in a public light. Whatever that you dispense out are taken not just at face value, but it can impact someone's life, isn't it? And I coach people in terms of their lifestyle. Hey, you need to drink so much water. Hey, you need to be doing this. You need to be eating healthy. But am I also living it? Am I the example? What do you do to keep yourself on the track and to keep yourself accountable? Do you have certain tools that you put in place to make sure that you stay accountable to the goals that you have?
I was just thinking about it, like how, it's been about 6 months, almost close to 6 months, and I've seen some changes in my physical self, the body, right? The body goals that I have. So I'm thinking like, what kept me going there? Because it is really tough to follow through a nutrition plan, for example, or an exercise plan, for that matter. But I believe in keeping things easy and simple. Making it so easy that I can't say no. Like, if I say like, oh, okay, oh dear, I have such a long day, I don't think I can exercise now. What am I going to do? Oh, easy. I just have to ensure that the minute I step into the house, I will do 3 things. So first thing, after saying hello to my kids, and then after that, and just drinking a glass of water, and I will head straight to my gym wear, put them on, and my mat is already laid out. So I already pre-lay out my mat before I leave the house in the morning. So there's no excuse. So it's easy, isn't it? Because I already know where I put my exercise clothes, where I put the mat, and all I need to do is to just, do the routine that I'm supposed to do, and then walk through it and do it. I think you probably know what I mean when I say, if it's a weekend, put on your gym gear before you sleep, right? And then you wake up the next morning, you're already in your running clothes, your exercise gear, and then you just go straight to it. You don't think about it. So that is what I mean when I say make it easy. Because habits are something that very difficult to start and also very difficult to sustain sometimes. So the only way to make it sustain them is to probably make it easy so that I can't say no to it. So that's one. And if I may say this, I want to add on because I thought about this and I said I must share with Coach Ari this point.
What is it that you wanted to share with me?
I want to share with you that, we are all so familiar with SMART goals and all that, right? Because we want to keep it going. We want to be accountable for ourselves. We want to achieve certain goals, right? We all make goals. And it's common, isn't it? To have a certain end in mind. But what I feel will sustain that goal, right, and will keep you going to achieve that is actually, yes, not just the process, but it's more of like being able to identify with who you are. Hear me out. You have to visualize who you want to be. Like that, I remember there's one of my goals in the beginning part of the year was actually to be a better me, to be a better version of myself. So when I make that statement, I need to have a vision of who I want to be and what identity I want to be. So if I know who I want to be, it is really something to do with my beliefs and my self-image, my beliefs. So yes, it's not just a facade of who I want to look like Jennifer Lopez, for example, or whoever, right? But it's more, yeah, I don't deny. But
it's okay. J-Lo has one of the best bodies, I must admit, huh?
Yes. But in order to get there, right, like I also need to know, like, to really look into myself as to like who I really am, who I want to be. These two things can be, together. It's not separate because you want to be a better version of yourself and you want to look up to someone who you have an idea of who you admire, for example. And there are three things. Like most of the behavior gurus out there will probably preach this. It's like outcomes, process, and identity or beliefs, isn't it? These three things. Yeah, I must say this to Coach Awi because Coach Awi always asks us like, I was thinking, when I was that the participant once of FLO, and I said, okay, I must know the goal. Like, what do I want? But it's not just about what I want. It's about who do I want to be. The who is missing. We are so done with why. We're so done with what. But are we clear about our who?
Nazreen, who do you want to be?
I want to be someone who is compassionate for sure, someone who can give back to community for sure. I want to be someone fit, and I want to be someone who is able to make a change for the betterment of society. This is a big dream. Because if I want to make it better for others, I want to make it better for myself first, so that I am able to carry forward that goal of making it better for society. If you want to do it for others, you have to first do it for yourself. So it is important to know who you are, who you want to be. And this is evolving. You may not have all the answers yet. Now, I tell myself, I don't have all the answers, but at this present moment now, I have an idea of who I want to be. Yeah, but next 5 years, I may say I want to be somebody different. I have other goals to pursue.
Yeah, definitely. Because in our life, it's all about the journey, not so much of the destination per se. We don't put we don't particularly reach a specific destination, but rather it's the journey, it's the process that goes along. In fact, in my weight management program, I tell my coaches it is not about that weight alone. It's how do you get there, how you're gonna reach there, and who do you imagine yourself to be like. I think that's very important. Okay, listen, in my show, I always get questions from my followers, and I think it's a very appropriate question that I think you can also help me answer this. I have this question from Lisa Rahmat from Singapore who asked me this. I got this question from Instagram. She says, I have a problem with staying consistent with my diet. Every time I get on board a program, I would be excited and see some results. And the following month, I get bored and get off track. How do you keep yourself from going off track? This is a very good question that we can ponder by. I think you have, and I think you have some answers because you yourself, you have gone through certain form of transformation. What's your transformation so far? And then we go into answering this question.
I would say I develop routines. I've developed routines with an S, plural, because I can't stick to one routine, so I need routines. Yeah, and I don't want to say I transformed into a more disciplined person because it's very cliche, and really building habits is not about discipline. Sorry to say that, but really it's not. It's really about simply, remember I said at the very beginning, to make it so easy that you can't say no, right? So it's really about taking steps that you know you can succeed. So make realistic goals, realistic steps, I would say. I don't want to say goals. Goals are too huge. Like, think about those, you know. And so the transformation, one of it is I've developed the routines and I have actually followed through. I've sustained them. So that is good for me. Like, for example, I now exercise every day, part and parcel, no matter how late, you know. And I like your tagline about moving, you know, just keep moving and, you know, just move your body. It's so true, you know, it's just getting active, you know. I think that's something that has been ingrained already. Another one is also how do I say this? It's more of the self-awareness. The transformation lies in the increased, heightened self-awareness. Beyond the physical self, it's really about the inner self. It's really about the spiritual side, I would say. It is because this is linked to the mindset change, the inner self. So physical is what you can see from the outside. Mindset is something that you can manifest to the outside, but it starts from the inner self. I change the way I look at things. For example, I would say like, okay, a very simple example, like, okay, I cannot eat too much. Okay, I cannot eat too much. I cannot eat so much rice, or I cannot do that. You know, it's not about you cannot. It's about why and how much. Like, why you can't eat so much? Why? Or is that logical? So how are you going to overcome this? So it's a lot of question. Like, in order to achieve that certain mindset for change, right, for positive change, you mustn't be afraid to ask questions, and you mustn't be afraid if you can't answer those questions, because it is really about exploring yourself. It's okay if you can't answer those questions, but the main thing here is to start asking questions.
We spoke about learning, growing, finding your answers, finding your truths. Yeah, and it's always a journey. And I hope that Lisa got a couple of answers from here. You spoke about making it easy, making it simple, such that it's no excuse for you already. And you also talk about self-awareness. Yeah, you have the why, and you also need to couple it with the who. because that's the component that we always forget. Yeah, the who.
The who. And so Lisa should keep a journal. I would advise Lisa to keep a journal. Like, you don't have to write every day, like, you don't have to. I think it's once in a while. And sometimes when you're watching Netflix, you should also have your journal around. I keep my journal around when I'm watching Netflix. So, okay, I want to jolt your memory. Okay, do you remember when I said something about I said you, as you turn the pages of your life, I want to take this step of like taking it one day at a time, like turning page by page until I finish a chapter. Okay, I did mention that. Okay, so anyway, it's okay. You can take your time to recall.
I'm bad at recalling things.
Probably it's not that significant after all, but anyway, no. But what I was saying is that it's this quote that I saw. Okay, and this one is about like it's okay. I give you the context. So this grandmother was actually advising her granddaughter, okay, who's pursuing her passion, her dream, and is afraid. So that's the context. And then it kind of like resonated with me so much because I had that thought as well. So this was what she said. Your words mattered then and they matter now. I can't do what you do, but I do know that life is more about rewriting than writing. And if you don't like what's on the page, change it. You'll always have a home to come back to if you need a blank page to start again.
You know what? It's really about life that you are able to rewrite the story of you.
Yes.
You are not defined by one particular narrative. You give yourself that narrative. Along the way, you create that narrative for yourself, whether is it by your circumstances or your environment, that narrative is created. But you always have that opportunity to, hey, tear the pages out, restart everything. And that's the good thing about life. You can restart at any point in your life, and it's never too late. I think the worst that can happen to anyone is they say that I can't do anything about it. This is just how life it is. If you do say that this is how life is supposed to be, then yes, because you believe it. But otherwise, hey, these pages here, you can just tear it off.
Yes, but please don't tear that one. I'm sure that's the bedrock of your imagination. So don't tear that out. And remember, you talk about how we evolve in life. So, we need to also calibrate certain things once in a while and calibrate that against our life and to really take stock and to see whether that's a priority. So here it goes. Okay, this is a perfect quote from Netflix for this. Okay. No matter how important the real world seems, you got to be remembering who you're doing it for.
Who are you
who
doing
you're
it
doing
for?
this for. Yeah, this for example. Okay, and then it goes, another one, continuing. You can't replace what's gone. Say somebody, okay, so this context is this is a different context now. If someone is having difficulty of letting go, okay, the past, okay, and you want to help that person, what is your mindset? What is the frame of mind? Okay, maybe this might help. So hear me out. If she has difficulty dealing with the past, then she's going to have difficulty bringing it into the present. If she's having trouble in the present, concentrate on that and listen. I added that listen because as a friend, sometimes we always ask people to, I'm guilty of it, like, okay, let's just try and strive better for the future and move on. But sometimes, they have trouble in the present. Let's not erase the past necessarily, but let's cope with what's now in the present and deal with it first and listen to that. Okay, we're not forgetting totally about the past. We're just parking it aside for a while and we are dealing it with now. And who knows, that might heal the person. Yeah.
I agree. I totally agree. I subscribe to the teachings of Eckhart Tolle's the present moment.
Yes.
Being in the present moment will solve a lot of things for us. In fact, if we were just to take it back, earlier on we talked about the narrative that we create for ourselves. It's because we are still staying in the past. But in the present moment, who are you? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Are you having problems? Are you having issues? In the present moment, if you really think about it, you're not. You're not having any problems. You are just bringing the past into the present, and what you're going to do right now is what's going to define you further. And I think I encourage anyone out there, any of my readers, any of my followers, to pick up a book by Eckhart Tolle.
I think one thing that I must say is like well, for Lisas, to all the Lisas in the world, right, is to surround yourself with people of passion, people of this maybe either similar passion or with passion, but really people who can lift you to foster the positive mindset. I think that is something that we need. We need a community, but we need a friend. We can't live just ourselves on our own. And when it comes to love, when it comes to appreciation, it's never too late to tell someone that you love them, you appreciate them. It's never too late to say thank you. It's never too late to be grateful for what you have and to say it out loud.
Definitely. In my program and in this show here, we preach about gratitude. And it's something that is always in my mind. In the morning when I wake up, I want to show gratitude to him for another great day, to be able to make things right. And at night, giving gratitude to him for a day fulfilled. Nazreen, tell me, when you go to bed, what is the thing that you dream about? What is the thing that you think about before you sleep?
I must be honest. I think about what I could have done better. Because I am my worst critic.
Mm-hmm.
So every day before I sleep, oh God, I'm so worried about this, and I wish I had done it this way. Or, oh God, can I just get through this, this big thing coming up for me, please guide me with this. And I'm always constantly having this conversation with God before I sleep about my worries. So that's number one, like my worries all out as I'm about to sleep. And the funny thing is that I don't dream much and even though I have such an active mind, I don't dream much. I wish I do, actually. At least I can what's a sign or something, right? But no.
You don't dream about anything. That's the restful sleep that you have. So yeah, good thing.
I guess, yeah, and I also think about sometimes I think about the people who hurt me before, and or the people that I probably had a misunderstanding with before. And I recently read this mantra somewhere. I'm not sure whether this is Netflix or a book, but I wrote it down on a different page, and I love it so much, and I want to share it with you, okay? And when I'm down, when I feel like some things just don't go my way, or when somebody hurt me, and when I remember the past for that fleeting moment, this speaks volumes and of gratitude. Okay, so here it goes. But that is life. It waits for no one. And that is love. It is faithful to no one. To the person I once loved, to the person who once loved me, to the person who left, to the person who never explained, to those who mocked me, and to the ones who never believed. From the bottom of this scarred but now resilient heart, thank you. I would not be here without you.
That is nice. Hey, you know what? Whatever has happened in our life, life has no mistakes. It is perfect.
Yeah.
You know, it's all planned out for us, and it is how we face life. It's what we do with our actions today that can
Absolutely.
determine our future. Whatever has happened in the past is not going to determine our future, but rather what do we do with it. Do you want to be a vindictive person? Do you want to be a revengeful person? Or do you want to be a person who is able to just look at a person who has hurt you and say, we had our time, it was good, and you have no impact in me in my life right now, but I wish you well. And when you have that mindset, again, it goes back to being in the present moment. When you have that mindset, it relieves us from a lot of the problems. And in fact, a lot of the problems, a lot of the challenges that we are facing right now, we are able to solve just being in the present moment and just forget about whatever has happened. What do I want to do with my life right now?
Absolutely. And, I just want to say to all those people out there who are struggling and who's facing difficulty and who think that you will never make it, start developing that warrior mentality in you now. And the warrior mentality doesn't have to have sharp weapons or any weaponry which is fanciful or expensive. The warrior mentality only needs you to be more self-aware, to keep a positive attitude, to really start moving, start moving your body, start moving, getting up, showing up to people, start listening to people who inspire you, and start saying thank you every day. So that's the warrior mentality. And it's something that it's really priceless. And it doesn't require money. I like to say that most importantly, it's really your belief system, your philosophy of life. Your philosophy of life and your belief shapes you more than anything else. It's really just that. And with that, take control, take charge of your life, and be empowered. Because you are enough. That's all I want to say.
You are definitely enough. Nazreen, tell me, what is a definition of success for you?
Okay, I learned from the greats. Okay, so the greats, they say many things about success. So from there, I want to dilute it to my version of success. Okay, great. For sure. Winston Churchill is a great, one of the greats, many greats. Okay, and Winston Churchill says, success is walking from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm. That's what he says. Mm-hmm. Okay. Nazreen Osman says, success is what you make it to be. So success is something that you want so bad that you will make it happen no matter what. Success is first being happy with what you have. Success is happy, healthy. Success is being conscious of your heart. That's the H that I want to say. And heart is a very happy, healthy, and the heart. And the heart is powerful because it starts with love, with the love you have within you for yourself, for your maker, for the sake of your maker. And, the heart is where you feel your empathy, your compassion is there And your heart is also your instincts, your intuition.
I love the fact that when you talk about success, it is not about the material possessions that people so often define it with, but rather you're talking about the mindset, the thoughts of it. Nazreen, where do you want to go from here in the next 5 to 10 years? Where do you see yourself heading towards?
Which aspect of my life are you talking about? Are you talking about career or health or fit or general?
The top of your head. The top of your head, because that's the one that is the one that your subconscious desires the most.
Wow. It's interesting you're asking me this because I have been manifesting a particular thought in my head and it became very strong lately. I really want to be someone known, making an impact on change for the betterment of people. Let me make it clear. I want to be someone who can shape the young minds and really helping the young minds to advocate that as a change for their dreams, to follow their dreams, shaping the minds of those under my charge, for example, to make that change forward. Yeah, that's why I teach. Yeah, and that's why I do what I do, and fitness is something that is really a big, huge part of education as well. Because when you take care of oneself, you will definitely be able to propel forward. So if I see myself in 5 years, I hope to have my voice making a change better forward. I really imagine myself standing on the world stage and really giving that talk of how the young have a voice and how the young ones, there must be something done for them so that they are able to shape their thinking and not be afraid to actually make their voices heard. And if they aren't able to read widely or even have that thinking process, and they don't have a teacher to guide them, for example, to shape their thinking or to be the listener so that they can have a discourse, then it's going to be very difficult for the future. So I feel that in 5 years, I hope to make that small change at least, and to be that voice.
Yeah, you're going to be an enabler of the voices of the youth.
I hope so. Yeah, there's a big dream, but yeah.
You know what? Dream big, because if your dream doesn't scare you, it's not big enough for you to chase after it. So yeah, dream big.
That's so encouraging, really. Yeah, you are so inspiring. I just want you to know that.
Thank you so much. And I want to pick on something that you say is very interesting statement that you made there, that people need to make sure that we are in the best shape of our life in order for us to be able to chase after our dreams, for us to be able to do all the things that we want to do. And there's a lot of truth in that. If you're not in a state where you're taking care of your health, because everything starts with that, then you will not be able to do anything else. If you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of the people under you. You can't take care of your parents or the charges under you.
I totally agree. Health is the bedrock of success. How about that?
Yeah, definitely. The bedrock, the foundation.
Imagine this: if I am going to envision myself standing on the world stage, and then after that, I am very weak, and I look pale and weak, and I feel not good. I'm having flu, for example. I can't be at the best at my peak, right? I will want to imagine myself being radiant and healthy and being able to um, feel the health at the peak, at the highest peak, right? So I think that vision has to be at the forefront always.
Actually, Nazreen, could I just talk to you about how has the program been for you? Like how many months have you been in our program? 6 months? October. I
Maybe,
remember that.
yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
But the
September,
best
October. That.
experience was the Ramadan. I'm very shy when I say about that. You know why?
Why? Why do you say that?
Never mind, skip. But yeah, it is a very good experience for me. Yeah, so I've been in that journey, that health nutrition journey for many months, and I must say that it was hard. It was hard to really sustain, and at first, but what kept going was actually making the steps manageable and easy, and that takes experience. Everything is about experiencing it, and the support that I had with like-minded people, like I said, right, surrounding people with the same mindset, passion, that helps. Yeah, that helps
Hmm.
when you want to achieve that outcome. But
Yeah,
the identity is something you need to explore yourself. You can't depend on the community to shape who you are. You shape who you are.
the platform is there for you, but it's you who dictates it. And weight loss journey or weight management journey has always been alone and for a lot of people, but it doesn't have to be so. Yeah, you have to find that community, you have to find that support, that form of accountability, whether it is your partner, whether it is your friend, whether it is the
Yeah.
support group. What do you take from it? Yeah, you decide how to do it, because we coaches can give you the platform, we coaches can show you the way, we can give you all the products in the world, but if you don't want to take our hands and walk that journey with us, then no one else can do that for you, because you are your own master. At the end of the day, you decide what to do with your life. Before I ask you one last question, let me just acknowledge you for being the person who you are, someone who believes that you're not defined by a singular purpose or role in life, that you put on multiple hats, which makes your life, and in fact our life, multidimensional. I also want to acknowledge you for the positive vibe that you have sent out into the Ramadan coaching group. Thank you so much. Putting yourself out there is also your way of staying accountable to your program and our program. And by doing so, you have inspired so many ladies in that group. So I want to acknowledge you, and I
Really?
want to thank you for that.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that. I learned a lot too. Yeah.
Yeah. One last question before we say goodbye. Please tell me, Nazri, in your own words, what makes a great life?
What makes a great life is to live everything that life offers. That means we embrace and we accept, we learn, we pick up, we live through it. What makes life great is to live through it. Life is such. If you don't go through the trials, you wouldn't appreciate uh, what is success. And if you just go through success, you wouldn't know how to handle the trials. So
Oh,
you need to have both, and you need to really live through that in order to appreciate what you have and who you are. And it is a journey indeed, and that's not a cliche. It definitely is. And what makes life great is always to have hope, that that hope, and that hope that life is there for a purpose, and a good one. And spiritually, for those believers in God, you know that there's a bigger purpose out there, you know. And for those who don't, it's also something that is already in the subconscious. Like there's always a reason for everything. So to put it in a nutshell, to have a great life is to live life through it.
Thank you so much, Nazreen. Thank you so much for coming on this show today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so honored.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of FLO Conversations. If you find value in this, please give us a thumbs up and share it with anyone whom you think will benefit from this conversation. Make sure also that you tag me on Instagram at iamashly.nawi. You can also find me on FB on Nutrition Living by Tony Awi. And this has been Awi here. Let's go out there and let's live in a big life. Cheers, everybody.